Ish. Kind of. We're undead creatures. So, hello, and welcome to our Vampire the Masquerade 5th Edition Chronicle, Vancouver by Night, Delve into Darkness. And I realize now when I'm saying hello, I'm slipping into the Deckard Cain thing that I did for that D&D game. Hello! As a warning, this is a mature game, and it explores some dark and troubling themes. No one's hopping on that one? Okay, cool. Uh, these may include body horror, gore, violence, loss of character agency, gaslighting, mind control, and many others. Our players have discussed consent and boundaries, and we collectively avoid situations that may be triggering. The players will always let me know if anything gets uncomfortable by using the yellow and red cards in our private chat. If you as a viewer ever feel uncomfortable or triggered, please pause and step away. Our streams are available on YouTube after the game, so you can always come back to an episode when you feel ready, or skip to the next one. So I'd like to thank our sponsor, Mikhail Artoria Designs, who creates these beautiful dice boxes. Please visit him on Instagram, and the link will be in the chat. I did this last time that I pointed out that he was in the chat, but he wasn't in the chat yet. So I'm hoping this time he's over there in the chat. And our other sponsor, Marlet Games. Marlet Games is a collective of tabletop veterans dedicated to producing quality content for multimedia here on Twitch to one-shots, modules, and full-fledged game lines. They are also available for commission work or consultations to help make your next tabletop project see completion. Investing in World of Darkness fan community is just one approach Marlet Games is taking towards world domination. That's fine. That's okay. Yeah, they're
I
cool
would like
people.
an application, please.
Yeah.
Someone's gotta.
Yeah. Is there like an application process to be part of like the regime when the world domination comes in? Okay.
We can talk about it.
So returning the favor over on their Patreon or spreading the word of the flock far and wide ensures your place among the records of history. That's where it is. Okay. I should have read that part and then be like, okay, I'll fill out the form. So when last we saw our intrepid coterie, they were all getting kind of hungry and kind of upped up on werewolf blood. A little bit of both for some of them. They were in the Wraithlands and they decided to potentially make a deal with a certain Astrid individual that is kind of heavily steeped in World of Darkness lore, let's just say. But they managed to get out of that situation with some of the help of the Lady in Red and some of the help of Duran's trigger happy towards ghost alligator actions. And then Jude opened up the Tremere Chantry, maybe? But it teleported them back to Alexander Industries. And they decided to leave that particular area, and we are going over to the next night. So I'm going to assume that everybody is kind of, taking steps to purge any werewolf blood that happens to be in their system. And, top themselves up a little bit, taking care of that. Before we get into the rouse check, however, I am going to have to have our vampires introduce themselves. So let's start with Abigail.
Hello, my name is Joanna, and I will be playing Abigail this evening, morning, afternoon, depending on where you are. And she is a Tucky Tremere, and that's about all you need to know about her.
And over to Ja.
Yo, I am Prince, and I'm playing Jack Cato. He is exhausted after all of the shenanigans he's been through. This was a bit of being put through the ringer for him. The whole Shadowlands thing's not really his scene.
I don't think it's really any vampire scene, or it really shouldn't be, but we'll get to Duran in a couple of seconds. Margaret?
Yes, hello. I am Astrid Dean, diviner_Astrid on Twitter. I am the Samicia of this group, the one bringing you bodily horror, which is why that we warn you that this is an adult content sort of show. And don't worry, I'm not out of ideas. This will be great. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. But yeah, this whole journey has just titillated her.
So, on that note, Jude.
Hi, my name's Sara. I am playing Jude Duncan, the Tremere. I think she's also a little bit deflated after the Shadowlands, but probably is holding on to the fact that she walked on through that door and got back into the Skinland. So I'm just gonna hold on to that victory this entire session.
It was kind of an up and down journey. It was like, we're in the Shadelands. Oh, we're home. It's all good. Mordecai.
Hi, I'm Mike. I'm playing Mordecai. We got nothing today. Back into the grind, back into the usual stuff. We're back on planet Earth.
I mean,
time to get to work.
Technically, you were on planet Earth before. It's just a different planet. I don't know. I'll explain it later. Duran.
Good afternoon. My name's Cliff. I play Duran Giovanni. We are now back in the Skinlands, what most people would call this dimension, which is where I am most comfortable, even if my family knows about the stuff on the other end. It was still a very anxiety-ridden trip for me. Though it had its moments, and letters will be written and conversations will be had. Hiked the heck back to my haven, had an excellent day's sleep, and we'll see where things go from here.
Speaking of the day's sleep, I'm going to assume that everybody managed to get back to one hunger. So we're going to do a round of rouse checks for everybody. And if you're participating in the chat, you can do so by !rouse in the chat.
Speaking of, if someone had any superficial before day rest, would they heal?
Yeah, it's gone. You would have been able to heal it.
Okay, so
what about Ag?
Ag is a different story entirely.
So I still need to do the 3 rouse checks for that. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let you get away that easy.
That's fine. You were very generous with letting us return to one hunger. I'm not gonna push my luck.
Yeah, everything else would be gone, but the ag you'll make your roll for, unfortunately.
Margaret's wake rouse succeeds this night.
Success.
Abigail.
Success.
Damn it.
Success.
Duran. Mordecai, success. Jude, for the 1 rouse check to wake up. How did you do?
Okay, so the rouse check to wake up, I succeeded, and then I failed twice for my healing added damage. So now I'm back to where I was, which was hunger 3. So
yeah, you're gonna have to do some hunting. So Duran, when you waken, you hear in the back of your mind, Duran, you should learn more about the Shadelands. I did not slack when I trained you. I do not expect
Padre,
slack.
I should learn more about the
I do not expect slack from my
Shadowlands.
students.
And I was not slacking. It was a priority. And of course, one has not taught as far as another could learn. So I am more than happy to learn more going forward. As a matter of fact, I will be putting my nose to the studying grind wheel even this week as we speak in order to determine to raise my level of education, let's say.
Excellent. Now eat someone.
So demanding. I have time for one. I will have a snack along the way. Yes.
So Jude, when you're kind of knitting your body together from the ag damage that you took, you hear, it's time to eat something.
Can I ask you a question?
You cannot. But yeah, go ahead.
I mean to my beast.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
What am I doing here?
Being a vampire?
No, obviously I know that, babe. I just mean, like, there's no Karna followers here. I'm working for the Camarilla.
Aren't there?
What am I doing? What?
Aren't there any kind of followers there?
I don't know. I haven't had time to check. I got sucked into another dimension.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Okay. Love you.
Yeah, I love you too. Now eat. So what is everyone doing for this particular evening? I believe plans were made at the end of the last session to go back to the same place, same time.
So
Yeah, I'd imagine. Oh, go ahead.
thanks. Won't take long. But Margaret and Amber would be closing up their first official, after hours book club. With the book club comes perks such as the more you're present, the more you participate, you get points for additional like rewards you can cash in on. There's also like exclusives to merchandise before it gets released. They can purchase early with a slight 10% discount, things like that. So they've just been given their first book, kind of been told, kind of how things are going to go and things like that. So they're bidding adieu, stuff like that.
Closing up the shop. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Getting ready for the other book club that's going to be showing up soon, I'm guessing.
Yes, the post hours book club.
Ja.
Yeah, Ja would probably just this time get there early. Just be there, like right, just sitting outside of the door as soon as like wake up, no shave, no shower, just clothes on, I'm out. I'll be at the door.
All right. So yeah, you would see the last patrons of Xenoschism leaving with their their newly acquired books from the book club. Abigail.
So Abigail, probably after having woken up very, very tired at Mordecai's place, because she probably wouldn't have gone home after that, she's probably gone back to her haven to get a fresh set of clothes and get her stuff together, charge all those devices that need to be charged. And then I think she would have gotten on a Moby bicycle, because that's what it's actually called. I've been messing it up every single time. But she's trying to do the whole environmentally friendly thing, and so she hops on a bicycle from her place on Falls Creek and bikes over to the bookshop.
For some reason, it takes a lot longer to charge your laptop than it usually does. Like, you've probably got some hacks in there that you could probably charge it, within half an hour, maybe 45 minutes. But it takes a lot longer. It takes probably about an hour and a half, give or take.
Okay, I'm gonna send an encrypted text message to Kevin saying, this won't do. Please send me a new laptop.
Thumbs up emoji.
Excellent.
Duran.
Well, after having a pleasant wakening conversation with my beast, of course, go over the usual. It's been a day. I'd like something normal to do. I need the receipts for the shops, please, just so I can make sure that the shops are still making the money. Reska, I'm also going to need you to call home and order me some study books. You'll know which ones. If you do not know which ones, Peter will know which ones. And right, then we'll get ready to go. Today is going to be a relaxed day of tweed, thank you very much, because if I'm going to get covered in dirt again, I would like to be wearing something that is not cashmere.
Probably a good idea. So after you check the books and you make sure that your ghoul sends off the appropriate letters to the appropriate people for reference to certain library things, which has gotten a little bit harder in recent nights due to the fact that there's been some problems in Vienna.
Oh, goody.
You're going to head over to the Xenoschism shop.
I'll make sure that I haven't received an answer from the Prince of the City yet, and still nothing on the whereabouts of the Giovanni Ghoul that was supposed to be in the city.
No.
Okay, I'm going to get my hat. I am going to carefully, using things almost like thick chopsticks, pick up the invisible skull key, and I'm going to put it in an ashtray for carrying, because I don't want it in my hat anymore. And I think an ashtray is appropriate.
That's extremely appropriate given.
And I will carry this along to head to Xenoschism.
All right. Mordecai.
Waking up per usual. I'm actually not. Who all did actually stay?
Those three.
Yeah, we needed to feed.
Cool. Has Mercy come back?
No.
That's probably one of the first orders. Call her phone.
No answer.
Okay, we gotta find that dog. All right. Frustrating. Going downstairs to the basement. Going to check on that particular thing.
Seems to be making money and operating relatively the same as usual.
I mean, that's cool. That's cool. Go a few rounds and then go back upstairs, do the regular nightly routine. Dress, feed, and
you didn't actually really have to feed after last night, so yeah.
I was actually quite high in hunger.
Well, you would have taken care of it the evening before.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Just sort of do a cursory thing. I'm distracted at this point. I don't really have any time for the usual festivities on the main floor. Where were we going? We were going back to the shop.
Yes.
Sort of halfway like that rich person who has a valet, Jeeves and Wooster. Halfway like that, because without Mercy to drive me, I'm just kind of like having to go into the gear of actually having to drive myself, which is a kind of a foreign concept. He knows how, he just hasn't had to do so in a long time. Okay. So Alexia, that to keep an eye out and sort of keep the phone line going, give Mercy a call every now and then just to see if we can find her. Yeah, and I guess we'll just head to the schism.
All right. Yeah, you get the appropriate affirmatives from Alexia. You sit behind the wheel of the car and you're like, okay, how does this work again?
I drove home, so yeah.
Seeing as how your cars are kind of in rotation.
Oh, fair.
Yeah, there's certain things that you would do with the new cars that you don't do with the old cars. Like there's like a push button. It takes a couple seconds to like figure out like, oh, okay,
Adjusting the seat.
yeah, I only have to leave the key thing here, and then I push the button. It's weird. This is so weird. Takes a little getting used.
Key into the.
Yeah.
Looking for the key slot. No. Yeah, and I guess we'll just drive to the schism. Oh wait, we'll find my guests first.
Yeah, it would be Jude and Ja that are left there. Abigail would
have left out on some like walk of shame type stuff. Like just pulls one out the door.
Yeah.
You don't see Ja.
In that case, Jude, let's see if Mordecai is able to find you, as the other two have already left Mordecai's mansion of interesting things.
Jude wants to see the basement.
Yeah. Let's go to the basement.
So in the basement, what Jude sees is kind of like a fenced-off area. There's
very sort of WWE, right down in the middle, squared circle, octagon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it would be more octagon
stadium
than
seating.
WWE. Yeah, there's basically kind of Fight Club-ish thing going on in the basement of Mordecai's.
So it's full. It's full of like mortals that are like fighting each other currently.
There's like not really a competition going on in the ring. It's more like training at this particular point in time of the night. Like they're just kind of like, doing like jujitsu moves against each other, like kind of throwing each other.
Coliseum, half dojo.
Nice. Okay, so when Jude arrives at the basement and looks around, she definitely, even though she's maybe feeling a little deflated, couldn't really get her hunger in check. But she sort of smirks at that, and she's like, and she looks at Mordecai. Now, I don't really want to make a mess in your house.
Be very gentle. Offer out my hand.
I'll take Mordecai's hand.
Rouse potence.
Okay.
6. And throw her across the room. Like the whole big sort of jiu-jitsu sort of just kind of take the hand, scoop in, jam the other hand under her armpit, and just like hurl her across the room into some padding.
Okay. Oh, into some padding. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, not gonna be that mean.
Hey, I mean, whatever. So okay, Jude will hit the padding. She'll take a knee real quick and sort of like okay. And now, are you expecting her to like come back at you or go to somebody else?
Oh, there's whatever she wants to do.
Okay, fair enough. So I will wink at Mordecai, and then I will I'll rush up into the ring. And I would like to basically leap onto the back of one of the mortals that are fighting there. Yeah, training, sorry. Yeah.
All right. Give me a dex and brawl.
Okay, my dex finally isn't the worst.
With more dex.
And brawl. Okay. All right. Okay. We can do this. Come on now. All right. I got 3.
Yeah, you're able to kind of jump on their back type thing.
Okay. And then I'm sinking my fangs into their neck.
All right, yeah, that's easy enough to do from this particular position. Like you kind of jump on and you're able to like bend their head aside and bite. How much would you be wanting to take?
Well, I just want to take, if I could take 2, but they'll be probably in pretty bad shape after that, I imagine.
Yeah, yeah, 2 is the rough equivalent of like 2/5 of the overall blood in somebody's system.
Okay. 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 So let's do this. I'll take 1 from this person. And then I'm going to detach myself. And then I want to deck the other guy in the face.
Dex and brawl.
Okay.
So I'm
down
you're
100
licking
now.
the wound as well.
Yes, yeah, sorry. Yes, I will lick the wound shut for the first guy.
Oh wow. Apparently my curse is returned. I was doing so well with those D&D rolls yesterday.
You really were. Has our willpower refreshed?
Yes, it would have refreshed.
Okay, so I'm actually gonna burn a willpower because I'm not about to blunder this, okay? I refuse. I refuse. Alright, I got 2.
It's too early in the session to get rid of any willpower just yet.
Well,
yeah,
I already done it.
You punch the other guy. And yeah, because I rolled 0 successes entirely because he was kind of ready, but
Dang.
he was not at all ready.
Okay.
Yeah, so he kind of like takes the punch and he's like, what the fuck?
And I like throw my hands in the air and I'm like, Jude's here now, motherfuckers! Welcome to the Fight Club. This is the real shit now. And I'll sink my teeth into the other guy to drain 1 hunger that I just punched in the face.
Yeah, it's easy enough to do. He's basically kind of distracted. You kind of busted up his nose a little bit. Yeah, you drain the other guy for 1, and then I'm assuming, again, lick the wound clean?
Yep, lick the wound clean. And I will kind of get down... Sorry, go ahead.
Those guys are kind of beat up at this point. Like, they're kind of like, kind of, you know,
and
falling down a little bit.
Yeah, and I imagine my feed would have been like a little bit messy, like not, you know, some getting perhaps on my face and my clothes. So I'll sort of squat down on my haunches and I'll slap my hands on the ground. Anybody else want a piece?
The most part, everybody's like kind of like, yeah, we're good. It's okay. Yeah, we're all right.
And I kind of smear any blood on my face just like around at the bottom of my chin. And I'll get back up to standing position. I will exit the ring. My heel turn is complete. Not that I was ever a face, but so I'll look back at Mordecai and I'll point at him. I took care of this. Thank you for helping me with this, and I'm going to have something for you very soon because you had my back out there, and so I'm going to have something for you.
Mordecai's sort of noiselessly, sort of stoically staring into the ring and sort of nodding, kind of Mr. Miyagi slash with that guy in the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Go away. Sort of
thing. Yeah, I can't remember his name, but that was an awesome character.
Anyway.
I was gonna say I'm blanking as well. Yeah.
Oh, play fun.
Prince has got it. He was there for us.
I've watched that movie way too many times.
Yeah, so have I. That character was awesome.
And then I will walk up to Mordecai. I'm gonna like get him in a big old Jude hug. And then I am actually huh?
No, she's not.
I'm not.
She moves with a hug. Snap her into a judo throw.
Tatsu, by the way.
So Jude, she just kind of starts laughing again, just on the ground.
Jude's just gonna go with it, like, because pretty much
Yeah.
everything in the lower area is padded.
Yeah,
one-
I'm not gonna resist. I'm just gonna let
Haul her
him.
back up to her feet.
You get it. You get it. And then
What-
I'll just pat him on the shoulder.
One of the things that Jude does notice, though, is pretty much like almost instantaneously, as soon as you left the ring, there was like at least 2 people there with like mops, kind of like disinfecting any like blood that's on there and making sure that the ring itself is like sparkling clean, like just completely and utterly cleaning it.
And I'm gonna start walking back up the stairs after he gets me back to my feet, and I'm just gonna laugh a little more and be like, pugilistic and efficient. What a wonderful establishment, Mordecai. Just in this very put on accent. And then Jude, I guess I will just like wait up there until Mordecai's ready to start up the whatever car's coming out.
So you're catching a ride with Mordecai?
Yeah.
All right.
There's only 2 of us? No, we should
Wait.
probably take the limo anyway.
Abigail.
Or
No, I took off.
Abigail's
that's
already
right.
gone.
You left.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, Abigail
So it's
and
just me.
Jaw left right away.
2 walks of shame and then Jude. So.
And then Jude.
And then Jude.
No shame. It's all good.
So
No, Jude has no shame, okay?
Jao was already waiting outside Xenoseism when the last patrons were leaving, and Duran is pretty much directly around the corner. So those would be the 2 kindred in this particular instance that are ending up at Xenoseism first.
Yeah, and once the early gentlemen arrive, they'll see Margaret this night. She has a visage that's a bit older than the one she's taken. If you check my Twitter, it is a blend of a little bit younger Dame Maggie Smith and Taylor Bosman of the Pretty Reckless. So she looks quite the striking, haunty, kind of scary figure, as she's just kind of milling about the shop and making sure, everything's straightened up. She's also in tweed, like an older Chanel. It's black with the gold accent designs, serrated pearls for a callback to my Sweeney Todd reference last game. But yeah, she looks older, refined this night.
And kind of recognizable to the other 2.
They would know at this point in time. Shop's closed. It's this late. Amber's around. It's going to be Margaret.
Yeah.
This is way less creepier than last time. Thanks.
And I see we are waiting for the rest of the Sundown Appreciation League and Book Club. Senora Strickland, do not your patrons sometimes wonder that this shop changes hands so often?
I mean, I've not put much thought into it. In large cities, there are pockets of town to where it happens like that. Oh, I forgot her accent. Sorry.
That's fine. We can say you readjusted it.
She's
Weird.
working on it. She's trying to get it back.
Weird Zemissy shit.
She's getting a Canuck accent.
I understand the allure of always having a new face. I mean, I always have a new mask myself. Tonight I am Indiana Jones' older father, only with a little more panache. And a lot more handsomeness, I would like to
just
think.
thought that maybe
That's
this
what
place
you
has
were
way too
referring
many
to.
employees for such a small shop.
Yes, but when one walks as the owner, you cannot help but to notice this. And when the owner has a different face, far often.
Yes, but I do not always present myself as the owner when I am present. I do have a particular face to wear when I am present in the last few hours of the night during operation. That is the
Camarilla,
face.
magic wand, whatever.
Yeah, I'm just saying some ascertain such things, and I was born and raised paranoid.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
just because I'm paranoid does not mean they're not out to get me.
They're out to get you.
No, I've been at this a few times. I've had a few shops quite a few places, mostly in the Americas. I know how to cover my tracks. And now that we're together, I'm sure that if anything were to transpire, you would have my back, as the kids say. That's the phrase.
Well, yes.
Yes, we still need you.
Well, I do appreciate that. And speaking of, I am going to be fighting myself an artisan because one of those teeth from that wolf that you and I fed upon, we're going to have ourselves a little bit of matching jewelry, if you don't mind, sir. A sort of token, a trophy. That way, when those of our kind look upon us, they already have an inkling, if they don't already know who they're fucking with.
I think I scare people well enough already.
Well, I mean, it never hurts to add a little bit to the pile, now does it?
I could be more terrifying, but I don't want to be. Well, you're kind of terrifying. It is a particular niche that you hold very close to yourself, and I wouldn't wish to step on any toes.
To be fair to the ignorant, they're not gonna, especially the kind, they're not gonna see a Garu thing. They're just gonna see something they might think is a token or something you probably got on vacation somewhere, pseudo exotic or somewhere. Don't worry about it too much, sir.
Fair enough. I guess.
It would be at this point that Abigail would be the next to arrive.
So given the events of the previous night, Abigail is going to use Sense the Unseen as she's walking up.
That's probably a good idea.
Resolve in aspects or wits and aspects?
That would be...
Wits and aspects, I think.
It's wits and aspects?
Yeah. It's, I think, whichever is higher, which would mean that I have 2 successes.
It is... Yeah, wits and aspects.
Yeah.
So, same
successes.
kind of thing that you have seen previously when looking upon Xenoschism with your heightened senses to detect supernatural. You find that there's no wraiths here. There's generally kind of, wraith-ish things in Gastown. There's a lot of wraiths around the clock, the steam clock that is in Gastown. For some reason, you're not sure why exactly, and you know of at least 2 other haunted locations that you've opened up your senses and seen wraiths, but this is just like it's almost a dead zone, almost exactly where you saw the barrier when you were in the Wraithlands.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was going to ask. So it's basically, it lines up with what we saw.
It seems to, yeah. Like, it seems like you would see when you're looking and you see somebody walking down the street, it's almost as if the wraith would, like, follow someone, and then it would not necessarily stop, but it would curve around the barrier itself and then continue following that particular person. It doesn't even look like the wraith knows that they're doing this. It looks as if they're just like...
All right. And do I see any Nos or any La Sombra, anybody hidden in the shadows?
You do not.
So my Nos friend hasn't come back?
No. He does not.
Okay. All right. I'm going to head into the shop then.
Okay.
Hello, all. How is everybody doing this evening?
Yura?
How are you, Mr. Giovanni?
As well as can be expected, thank you, and yourself.
I am well. I am well.
Yanni.
Excellent. Miss Strickland, what have you for us tonight? Anything of interest?
I mean, it's only been a night and nothing's come to my door, as it were. I am simply waiting to look at this key and find to where we can put it, and what we will find once we put it where we ought to put it.
Yes, it is definitely interesting. Jar, how are you this evening?
last night. I I'm here. We have a job to do.
Exactly. Well, as long as we're all in one piece, I think that's the best that we can expect. And Miss Strickland, do you have any new books in today?
You would, in fact, have a few new books, but probably nothing that Abigail would be necessarily interested in. It's just like this, the standard run of the, Wicker for Dummies type thing, and like the
We'll just wave her hand and just that one flaw that she has kind of resonates. She's just like, oh no, you don't need to be bothering your time with that. Things along your line of your interest, they don't really come my way too much. I more get things that kind of like the standard public would be interested in. Things like the book club that I have for this sort of book club, they understand things a little bit more, but the things that they lean into, no, just don't waste your time. If I do get anything though, you will most certainly be the first to know, as you are. Oh, sorry.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Miss Strickland. I do appreciate that you're looking out for me. And I guess Abigail's just kind of peruse the stacks nonchalantly, kind of just
Yeah.
the books.
Apparently,
thanks for a good job while we were in the building. You did well. I appreciate it.
We have to look out for each other.
Apparently, there are Gera nearby. So that would be about the time that Mordecai and Jude would pull up outside the shop. There's not really that many places to park a limo in this particular area of Gastown, so yeah, parking it on the street is pretty much the only way to go.
It's not like Gastown hasn't seen its share of limos.
Fair.
Take your word for that. And in the course of the ride, Jude hasn't had time to like return to her makeup station, and then she had all that blood on, so she probably took like a baby wipe from her bag and sort of like cleaned up the bottom of her face so she's not walking in quite in that state to the shop. And she probably like rearranged a couple things in her just crossbody leather bag. Yeah, just wanted to point that out before I walked in.
All right.
Mordecai, shall we go?
Let's do this.
So I'm gonna walk in like just ahead, and I'm gonna go, Margaret, I need hematite.
Kind of like her head shoots up, kind of like almost like a dog and everything. She's like, oh yes, and like she'll just walk, and like as she's walking without stopping, she'll pick it up and she'll reach out to take one of Jude's hands, and while still like holding like the underside of her hand and put it in and be like, I got the actual real stuff. Now how you know hematite is real is if it's magnetic. If it doesn't have the magnetic quality, it's man-made. You don't want
man-made. Yeah, this is my stuff right here. And then Jude is gonna like fish in her many pocketed pants and give you like she'll probably hand you like a crumpled up like $20 bill. Is this enough?
Yeah, that'll cover it. Change will be about around $4 Canadian, I believe.
Just keep it.
Abigail's just gonna yell out, put it on Cassius's bill.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Do that. And she'll kind of surreptitiously take her cash back and put it back in her pocket. Cassius, it's for Tremere shit. It's okay. So
Cassius
it's allowed.
is going to have beef with all of you.
Oh, speaking of, and Margaret will just like turn on her heel, and she'll like go to like a bookshelf and everything, and she'll pull out this leather-bound notebook, completely empty, probably about that thick, probably about this tall, about this wide. So probably, especially because it's brand new, be about 125, I'm thinking, USD, so probably around like 140 Canadian or something like that. And she's just like, the runes and stuff that you saw, the discussion that we had, go ahead. And then she'll take a pen that has like an amethyst like stuck on top that's like $10 or something like that. And she'll be like, go ahead, get to work on what you saw. Take the time that you need if you want to go to where the Red K is held, or even where the tarot readers are held. I got separate rooms for that if you don't want to be in the meeting room. Go ahead and center yourself in there. Get to know your hematite as you do this.
Yeah. I better transcribe that, as it were, like you said. It's a cool pen though. Hi everybody else. Hi, Duran, Abigail, Ja. What's up? We're here.
Hello, Jude.
So I guess I'm gonna go and write down the runes real quick. So
yes, do the Tremere shit over there.
Well, it's fresh.
Away from me.
Oh yeah. Wait a second. Hold on. Right before I do this, which is very necessary to the group project, by the way. John, I know you don't like Tremere. I get it, okay? I know a little bit of the history. My family taught me from where I came from before, but I didn't have anything to do with that. I have been a lick for like a couple of years, less than a decade. I didn't have anything to do with that.
Yes, that's why you're not dead yet.
Okay.
We appreciate the trust takes time.
Right. Okay.
No beef with you exactly. But some wounds take a very long time to heal.
Fair enough.
Doing the old lady snicker behind her hand.
And I just fair enough. And then I will turn back to the corner and I will start writing down the runes with the pen while everybody is mingling.
In Mordecai, how's the reaction to Mordecai coming in?
Distracted. He doesn't putz with the stones or rearrange any of the knickknacks on the shelves or light any of the incense. We need to find that guy that was in the building with us. I don't even remember his name.
Yeah, Duran's friend.
Oh, Senor Johnson.
Yeah, him.
Yeah, he came from the building across the way. He was part of the shape changers who don't like the Pentex shape changers that we dealt with, that Jai did such a wonderful job on.
Does anybody know how to contact him?
He has my card. He refused to offer his own numbers, though, to be honest, I'm thinking if we just went there and hung out in the lobby like a mess of drama kids in a Denny's, there would be some kind of a response.
Wow, there's a LARP callback if I've ever seen one.
I feel personally attacked. Except mine was Waffle House.
Ooh, Waffle House is the best. Anyways.
6 of one, half dozen of the other, really.
So we could go there and do that. As far as I'm aware, we should contact Cassius about this because he sent us after it. And unless you wish to entrust it to me, in which case it's going to disappear from everywhere forever, we should give it to Cassius. And yes, I thought an ashtray was the best place to put it in order not to touch it.
Storyteller, I think just to retcon to the previous evening, I think Jude and Abigail would have sent Cassius a nasty message saying, "We got your shit. Now, what do we do with it?"
Yeah, you didn't get a response from that just yet. Because it was fairly later on in the evening. It was about 4, I believe, when you finally popped back into the regular world.
Closer to 5, yeah.
Yeah, closer to 5. Yeah, by the time you made it to Mordecai's, sent your message, did a bit of feeding. Like, both you and Cassius would have been, like, kind of preparing for the day sleep, so it would have, he wouldn't have been able to respond as of yet, because, you know, he's kind of a late riser. And once he gets his nose into, like, various Tremere shit, experiments, etc., like, he kind of leaves the phone in his, like, room or haven, doesn't really get back to it. Like, it might even take him, like, an entire day to get back to you, really.
So the other thing, while we are waiting on a phone call from Cassius, somebody sending him a pigeon, waving torches in the night to say, hey, we have your thing. What is our purpose from here? Will Cassius send us after other items? Because he did say there was the ghost key and other items. Will we be running from either of the two things that are now going to bite us in the butt, one on each cheek, apparently? The were spider, who we took her book under the shakiest of pretenses, and she will have woken to that at some point. And of course, the other ashtray, which we left behind, and we were told, oh, he'd be delayed, a comment which I do not appreciate. Stopped, I love. Ceased, taken care of, removed, wonderful words. Delayed just makes me all the more paranoid and anxious. And if we are going to have further adventures together, which I must admit that you are growing on me, all of you, much like perhaps something green or brown or gray or an interesting blue. I find myself rather enjoying your company, but I would like to point out two things I have noticed from just getting this wonderful key. One, none of us leads worth crap because we are all used to being leaders in our own lives. And two, we don't plan worth crap either, both of which could potentially result in the end of our own lives. And as much as I adore you folk, my own life is extremely important to me. I have yards and yards and yards of cashmere and tweed and wool yet to touch, yet to fondle and turn into suits. And I do not wish to end it too soon. So we're going to need to shake it out somehow as to when in certain situations, certain things are done. You all have wonderful strengths. I would not meet any of you in your own arenas because I am not a stupid man, fortunately. It's the only thing that my sire allows me to state. And even then, he's not sure. But
I would never think of you as a stupid man, Mr. Giovanni. Nor have I thought that of most of the members of your family that I've met. Most.
Thank you. Most, yeah. Some of the older ones, yeah. But we have such social, such physical, such metaphysical abilities and powers here, and yet when it comes to let's go do this thing, we become the Keystone Cops climbing out of a clown car. Who, when we find the item, then we start planning as to how to touch it and pick it up, which should have been a grab and go. As just a single example.
Storyteller, do you require any rolls from me for drawing the symbols that I saw from the Shadowlands?
Give me an intelligence and occult.
Okay.
But while Duran's on that spew, Margaret would just be there nodding her head, and she'd be like, so I concur. I've had let us say bountiful respect for your kind, though I haven't had a lot of interactions. I am hopeful for what this relationship, at least between you and I, will bring. course, I can't speak.
You,
For the rest-
Senora, confused the crap out of me. I thought you were Tremere, but then you do the funky thing, and I do not. This is. It is impressive. But as Senor Cha has said, wow.
I don't often hear that I am a Tremere. I often get mistaken for a Venture, and I quite enjoy that.
Okay, I can see that. I can see that. I mean, my family is named in my name, Giovanni. And as far as I have seen, and I am guessing, I thought you were Tremere, but you're apparently not, because you can do many things that, and my education has perhaps been very focused on the family and not. Ja, I have a very strong indication as to exactly where he comes from, just from the way he holds himself and what he can do with a blade. Mordecai, I swear, is one of the most twisted toreador I've ever seen, and does it beautifully so. Abigail, I believe, is a Tremere, and Jude, you are fantastic, but I know few Bruja who can climb on ceilings, and I would like to know where you get that trick.
So what you're telling us is that you want clarification.
And so Jude will make her way from whatever corner she had retired to draw the symbols. She'll take it back and put it or give it to Margaret. I get a 3, so not great. But...
Yeah, for the 3 successes, you're able to remember like the vast majority of the symbols, but there's some that you can't quite remember. You're like, did it look like this? Or you're kind of sketching it out a little bit. There's like several that are scratched out as you like put them in, and then you like, no, that's not it. And then you like, there's a few of them you get that way, but there's some of them that you just can't quite remember.
Fair enough. So I will go over to wherever Abigail is standing, and I'll sort of just put my arm very congenially around her shoulders.
You did fantastic.
Oh,
I mean, I never doubted it, but you saved our rear ends. You did. And
yeah, and yes. It wasn't even a punch. I just walked through. Yep. It's kind of wild. It's never been anything that easy.
Sometimes it's not about the violence of getting through. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of brain and not brawn, as they say.
And I think. Yeah, and Jude will like kind of look off into the distance for a second. Maybe violence isn't always the answer.
And how did you not get embraced, Bruja, then?
I mean, there weren't really many around me at that time. I was, I mean, do you know about Karna?
No.
At that mention, Abigail, your ears would definitely perk up.
Go ahead.
Is there something that you would like me to roll, storyteller, in order to figure out what it is that I'm supposed to know here?
Not at all. It's fairly well known. House Karna is kind of the anarchish.
Real quick on that note, while they're having that conversation, Margaret will be looking over what Jude like kind of drew, and then she would hand it over to Duran. So is there a role you want me to do while Margaret's looking it over before handing it over to Duran?
From what I remember, the like symbols themselves could only be seen by people who were sensing the unseen.
Well, I mean, Jude drew them in a notebook.
Yeah. But are you trying to figure out like what they are, what they do, type thing? Or...
Yeah, like if she's, she doesn't have sense of unseen or anything, but like they could be things that she's recognized in books or other like kindred tomes, the whatnot, especially because letters in UC can have some
intelligence and occult then.
Thank you.
So Jude will sort of continue. Well, you know how, in the Camarilla, like with the Tremere, I mean, I don't know how much you know about Tremere, but like it was a real boys club, and Vienna happened, which was really bad. And um Karna was based in the state that I came from, Wisconsin. And I got grouped up, and she was around for a little while. Like, she was like in charge there for like a little bit, but she's always going from place to place. So I just immediately kind of got folded in to her followers, and we're sort of like our own thing. Like, we're not the pyramid. The pyramid is not it for us. And we have no desire to ascend to the top. We're in our own structure. And, it's a lot of women, feminine type people. And I just got hooked up with them really early. I mean, I left home really early as a kid, off the farm, and they kind of liked my whole vibe. I mean, it was different, but I think that's what they liked, because it wasn't a bunch of stuffy academics and little undergrads with English degrees quoting Shakespeare and talking about Faulkner. I was just me, like, wandering around on the street.
So Wisconsin is now the home of cheese and independent Tremere. I rather like that. And yes, I could see you being a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, like I said, it was kind of different. And, some people didn't like it because I don't have an education,
There will always be those who hate.
Right. But for the most part, they took me in and, got embraced, fell in love, the story. So
makes
cliche.
so much more sense now. So much more sense.
I just find it entertaining that the two that we will have on the front lines throw in hands, and people go, "What are they?" And we'll go, "Well, he's what you think. She's a Tremere." Just to watch the rest of the people go, "Wait, what?"
I always have the element of surprise because nobody expects it, and that's my favorite thing, is to be the opposite of what people are looking at me. But I'm big. People usually think I can throw a punch. So anyway, that's my story about how I came to be a witch.
Bien.
Does that clear it up for you?
Very much. Grazie.
And Jai, you say it makes sense. Why is that?
You don't fit the typical Tremere stereotypes.
Yeah, I don't have $70,000 of student debt.
Well said.
Wow.
See, I know burn through money like they burn through blood.
Yeah. But yeah, and then stuff happened there, and now I'm here. Working for the man.
So to speak. So the only other one I'm confused on is Senor Strickland, Mordecai. You are one of the strangest Toreador I've ever met.
But he is so pretty, isn't he?
He does.
Compliment him. His head
Sure
will get
is.
bigger and
He
bigger
does.
and
He
bigger.
does carry it well. I have some experience with the Toreador, which is why I had wondered that obviously we are not drawing together the stereotypes of our families.
I bet Margaret will lower the book. And speaking of, she got, so I roused her intelligence, that passed, but she got a 6 messy crit, so she's at hunger too. So hearing that, she'll lower the book, kind of close it and be like, oh, I can tell you exactly what he is. As she hands the book to Duran.
So
Grazie.
for the 6 successes, you would recognize them as kind of magical sigils, but you don't recognize them from any kindred reference that you've actually seen. These seem to be possibly mortal mage related. You can't quite put your finger on it. Like, even with 6 successes, you're like, I've seen these before, but it's not like anything Book of Nod or kindred related that you can tell.
Goddamn technocracy.
So as she hands the closed book to Duran, she'll turn so as he opens it, she can kind of look over his shoulder. She'll just go, "Now, I do understand things such as the mages exist. I've come across things. My sire, he isn't that old, but he told me tales of things, and this is reminiscent of what I was seeing in my first decade dead, and these things my clan lost long ago, but I maybe you got some insight into this."
You say mages?
That's what I'm seeing from my recollection and my teachings.
You know, I'm getting very, very sick of these mages messing with our shite. I'm going to introduce you at some point to a car. And the reason that I say I'm going to introduce you to a car is because this car is not actually a car. A mage turned one of ours, one of the barons, into a car.
Oh,
so
no.
These mages I don't know what the hell they have been doing around here.
What?
But they are
What's a car?
An automobile.
What car?
An automobile. Yes.
Vroom vroom limo.
No,
That's
more like
what
hers.
a magic that my sire taught me about, and I know about some old magic.
I want one.
It's a hearse. They turned
even better
him into a hearse.
I want it.
You wouldn't need a driver. Speaking of which, where is your driver?
I don't know, and it's been bothering me all night.
We'll have to contact
I'm on
Mr.
edge.
Johnson at some point. Steve.
I'll help you find her.
Yo.
I will.
Looking at the sigils, does my family knowledge give me any bonuses?
That would be another intelligence and occult roll.
I was doing that. Yes, it was Baron Marcus. He was an Anarch Baron, and apparently some mages turned him into a hearse. And the car has been lovingly named the Gothmobile.
I want
it. Yes, I'm sure you want it, Mordecai, but it's a kindred. We want the kindred back. These mages have been shit.
Or do you suspect we will get them made from a car into a kindred again?
And maybe they're happy being a car. Who knows?
Miss Strickland, Margaret, do you know how to turn people from cars to people?
I mean, there was this one thing I was working on in the 80s. They weren't exactly a car, but I kind of extended the bodies in the way that you would do, kind of the intestines for a lamb, for a violin or something, to be kind of the inner workings of a motor and stuff. But I never really got much beyond experimenting with a motor beyond that.
Steve, my dice don't like me tonight. It took a willpower to get to 3. So 3 successes.
You're looking over the sigils, and it doesn't seem like anything in the Giovanni tomes that you have seen before. Like some of them seem kind of similar. Like, this could be one of those symbols, but it's not quite exactly the same.
Yeah. So these are not ours.
And the magic isn't ours either.
I need to go back to the car for a second, just for 1 second. So what did this kindred do to piss off a mage that got them turned into the car?
I don't know. All I know, all that has been gathered from this is that it was a mage, and that the mage turned Baron Marcus into a car. Give me 2 seconds. I've got a name.
Damn, this city is a mess. Wait. Have you seen the car?
let's just say I've had some interesting interactions with the car. Let's just say that the car gets hungry.
Oh no, I don't. Even I don't like that.
Nope, we're just going to stay away from that one. That is a
Okay.
story thread that I do not want to follow.
Yeah.
It was Yasmin. Yasmin Francis.
Where's the
Was-
car now?
A storyteller, where is the Gothmobile? Out of curiosity, because even if I had a tracker on it, it's been too long.
You would have had it parked in the parking garage near your haven.
It's up near False Creek right now. But I mean,
Let's go.
you want to see the car tonight? Do we? I guess. I mean,
Oh, wait.
absolutely.
Wait. Duran is right though. We gotta make a plan and we gotta stay focused.
yes, I agree. Mr. Duran is right. We need to make a
Exactly.
plan. We need to communicate, because otherwise,
See the car, and I got to find my road driver.
Yeah, that as well.
Mr. Mordecai, do your driver have a cell phone?
Yes.
Would you
Wait,
like me to try
if this
and
car runs over
find-
someone, is it diablerie if it cleans up the mess?
I
Is
guess
it
only if it's a
kindred it
kindred.
runs over? Because if it
Yeah, I'm
runs
just
over,
assuming like if it ran over me.
I've never seen it run over a kindred.
Wait,
Ooh,
does
is it
that
like
mean
that
the
movie
gas
with the
tank
car?
runs off of blood?
But it
Is that what
runs
you're
over.
telling me?
Christine.
It's
Yeah,
an
yeah.
environmentally
Yes.
friendly car.
Or Bender the Weir car.
Now, Miss
Hell of a
Abigail,
way to
before you
recharge a
think,
battery.
I'm gonna need to see this and figure out how we can have one for our
Oh, well, I don't know that any of us know any mages, and like I don't know that I'm trying to get into all that.
No mages
okay.
like that. Those sound like
No.
very dangerous mages.
I
They do.
agree. I agree. Okay, so we have to and Jude starts making like an imaginary list, just like imaginary writing. Okay, number 1. We gotta figure out what happened to Mordecai's driver, because like she's kind of important to the operation, I feel like, so she can, drive us around. And then number 2, we have to figure out what's going on with the invisible skull key, right? We got to figure out what we're going to do with that. And then number 3, go see the kindred car. Maybe.
Mr. Mordecai, would you like me to try and track down your driver's cell phone?
Yes.
All right.
Because you're good with tech.
All right.
stuff.
Abigail is going to pull out her laptop. Does Margaret have Wi-Fi in the shop?
She would. Mhm.
Okay, so Abigail's going to request the Wi-Fi password, and Abigail is going to connect into VPN. And I know that this is a role that I'm not supposed to be able to do, because honestly, in real life, this shit isn't supposed to be able to happen. But I'm going to log into the VPN, log into Kevin's network, and I'm going to try and triangulate the cell phone signal based on, I'm assuming Mordecai would give me information about her number and stuff like that.
Yep,
right?
yep.
Yep, okay. Mr. Storyteller,
Yes.
what would you like me to roll? The usual?
The usual, yeah.
Okay.
So,
Three and a double crit, so basically seven. Yeah, 7.
So yeah, you're able to track down the cell phone through the map of the city. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to CIS you. CSI, whatever.
NCIS.
That's the one.
Same difference.
Enhance. So you're able to track down the cell phone, and it's at Agamemnon Industries.
Well, Mr. Mordecai, it looks like your driver, at least her cell phone, is back at Agamemnon Industries, so across from Alexander Industries, so where we were yesterday.
So where Mr. Johnson was.
Yes.
Speaking of Mr. Johnson, Duran, you get a call.
Oh, I don't carry a cell phone.
The shop itself gets a call.
In that case, Amber would be the one to answer it.
Amber comes over to, I'm assuming there's like a portable cell phone, or not cell phone, just like a portable phone for the shop. She goes, this call is for Duran.
Well, that's good then. I'll take it. Thank you very much. Grazie.
She hands it over.
Ciao, you've got Duran. Who am I chatting with?
Duran, and you recognize the voice of
Mr.
Johnson.
Johnson.
And at that point, we're going to take a bit of a break because we're going to come back in about 5, and then there's going to be some interesting reveals happening. So, yeah, everybody hydrate. We're going to be back in about 5 minutes, and we are out. returned. So, when last we saw the Coterie, Duran was getting a phone call from like a portable phone in Xenoschism. Mr.
Yes.
Duran, was it?
Yes. Ah, Senor Johnson, how are you doing? You have all your files, yes.
I do.
You got out of there very quickly, yes.
Yeah, with a bit of a guest. Can you do me a bit of a favor?
We might be able to do favors for each other, but yes, go ahead and ask.
Kind of figured that this would be... It's an older shop that you're in, isn't it?
When you talk about people of our age, older has a different meaning, but okay, we can go with that.
By our, I'm assuming you mean your, because I'm not that old.
Yes.
Can you hold the phone away from your ear and kind of point it out like you're handling a gun?
Oh, you're going to do that thing that the Atom does in certain comic books. This is an awesome thing to watch. One moment.
And the rest of you kind of hear an audible, like, kind of a thud, and then a fuck.
Was there a problem, Senor Johnson?
This isn't a landline, is it?
No, it is not.
It
It
is.
is a portable. It is a
it
portable
would be a
phone
portable
and a
landline.
landline.
Oh, is there like a physical connection?
Have you got the phone with wires?
As to my understanding, no. Can
No.
I got internet with wires? I may got the Wi-Fi, but I got the internet with the wires. I don't got no landline phone with wires.
That might work. What's the ISP number?
Amber would know.
Amber's like, do you want me to read it off the thing? Like the internet thing?
I mean, just stick it into the phone, darling.
Sí, por favor.
Oh, and she like kind of goes over to the router. She like reads off a series of numbers. We'll just go blah for this particular instance.
Abigail would have it when she logged into the Wi-Fi.
That's true, but Abigail is being tight-lipped at the moment.
Yeah, Abigail's just gonna shut up.
Do you have
Why?
some question? Do you have anything hooked up to this particular Wi-Fi internet?
Now that the business is closed, everything would have been disconnected for the night. Anything that Amber would have to do, she would be able to do it from her own devices.
Yeah, Amber would probably have it on like her cell phone, just because data is
A business phone, yeah. She
pain
would
in
have
the
a
ass.
separate phone for personal reasons.
That's you hear from the other end of the line. That's perfect. Great. Give me 1 second, and then you hear click,
Beginning 1001.
and then Amber is kind of playing with her phone a little bit, and then out of her phone shoots Mr. Johnson trailing Mordecai's ghoul behind him.
What?
And he kind of lands awkwardly on the glass case that that Amber was standing behind, and kind of like it kind of cracks a little bit. He's like, and he like helps the ghoul down, and then he jumps down himself. He's like, yeah, I'll pay for that.
That's
It's
a
like
neat
I have to do
trick.
a frenzy check roll on that.
What?
If you want.
I mean, like what the requirements would be, and like what would this be considered as? Like, would this be like I feel like it would probably be a personal offense
It'd be
sort of thing.
I'd say it'd be fairly minor, really. Like if he says that he's going to pay for it, it could probably kind of even out a little bit.
Probably,
That's
but at first there's gonna be that initial heart attack.
Yeah, the initial like. So yeah, let's go for
Especially
a
because
will.
this is probably like back at the shop, and we've established back at the shop has the more expensive items, especially the ones she probably doesn't want people to buy because reasons. But yeah,
That explains the price tags.
So it's
Willpower.
unspent willpower and then half humanity
Half
rather than
humanity,
down.
yeah.
Okay, one moment.
Oh, I didn't know that.
What?
It's
What?
it's unspent willpower and half humanity
And
for
half
frenzy
humanity.
resistance.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh boy,
Yeah,
I
I've been
made a
doing it
mistake in
wrong
my
pretty much the
game.
entire
Oh.
time.
Oh,
I just like willpower
I made a
rolls.
mistake. Oh, I made a bad mistake while I was STing. I have to apologize to my player. I am sorry to this
No.
man.
No, you call it house rules.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
just run with it. It's
No.
fine.
Oh no. No, it already happened. I can't do anything about it now.
Same.
House rules.
That's how you do it in D&D. If you get the wrong sort of dice you use or wrong amount of dice, the gods were smiling favorably upon you. So whatever your vampire
Oh, they were
system
not
is.
smiling on my player.
It made for good story.
No.
So Margaret,
Yeah.
how did that roll go?
1, 2, 3 successes.
That sounds like a lot. Yeah, that's more than enough. Like
They're
I would have given it to you at 1, but you would have been like probably a little bit more on edge. But 3 successes, you're like, and then you're like, okay, you said
John's
he's
just
gonna pay
looking
for
at
it.
this.
He's
It's
It's
fine.
just
talking
like,
about payment.
This is gross.
leaning
This
into
is
the
gross.
whole
This is gross.
Yeah.
adventure. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. I'll just overprice things. It'll work out.
And he points to Mordecai and he's like, I believe she is your
And
helper.
I rushed right up. Very uncharacteristic of all of the cool and the suave and everything else. Like, literally just picks her up, wraps his arms around her. I thought I lost you.
Nope, I was just keeping an eye on her. Pentex can be kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Assholes. They can be kind of assholes about, people skulking around their offices late at night.
And checks himself because he realizes he's now being watched. Puts her down, brushes off her shoulders. Mercy.
Amber is kind of mortified. She's kind of like holding her cell phone, like.
Also, I turn off my cell phone because I don't want that to happen to me.
Miss Strickland, do you want me to, shall we say, have Amber forget about this? I mean, I'm sure this is pretty traumatic.
He's right here in the room.
I'm whispering this to
She's
Margaret.
right here in the room, but if you hit her quick enough with the forgetful mind, she'll forget that you were even talking about her when she was in the room, right? So it's like, it's a multi-purpose discipline.
Margaret will lean back to get better access to the ear and go, oh, I don't know. The way I see it, the more she gets exposed to these things, the more useful she is to me.
All right, your choice. As long as it's not too traumatic for her.
Amber just puts her phone down, like face down, away from where she is, and just goes into the back room like, yep, I'm done. I don't want to touch my phone anymore. I'm good.
Margaret,
Anybody got Obeya?
Margaret will watch her go and then turn around so she's facing Abigail properly and at a somewhat decent volume go. If she shows any signs of the such later, I'll be able to take care of it.
Perfect. Just as long as she's safe, that's fine.
Turn her into an armchair or something.
She's
And
been by
Jude
my
is-
side for nearly a decade for a reason.
And Jude will sort of like come up to Mr. Johnson. So, okay, I'm really glad like you took care of Mercy, but like, what do you want though?
Name it.
Pay for that. For starters. Next up on my list is I kind of want to know where you all went. Let's start with that story.
You want to take that one, Duran?
Yeah, Mrs. Duran would be most suited for this explanation.
Come in the ashtray.
Yes,
we had,
can you tell me how you did that? That's such a neat trick, Jude. Can we get Cassius to teach us how to do that?
Yeah. I was thinking the same exact thing.
How do you do that, Mr. Johnson?
Okay. First of all, I don't really trust any of you. So we're going to stick with the Mr.
feeling's
Johnson for the
mutual.
moment.
The feeling's mutual.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I guess we
Two,
can find out the hard way.
I have no idea who this Cassius person is.
Oh, it doesn't matter who Cassius is. We just want to know how you did that. That's all.
Plot twist. Cassius Johnson.
Are you I believe you call them lupines.
Oh, this is a lupine thing. Okay, cool.
Not
Nice.
really. It's more of a sub-lupine thing.
So this is unlike anything I've ever seen from a lupine.
There's a reason for that. I'll get into that never. Okay, so where is it you guys went?
Is that important?
Duran,
The upside down?
The item we had been sent to get, which was behind the files, unfortunately, upon touching it, took us to another plane of existence, which we then got to dance around a little bit, meet a few people, make a few hellos, and then get our butts back here, ending up back in the office where we could then obtain the item and go
And
home.
there was an ashtray.
Yes.
Samuel.
Sam- Samuel Haight was there.
Yeah, he's an ashtray.
We had a short visit with
He made it
Senor
clear
Hastings.
that was who he was.
Last I heard, he was dead.
No.
Well, so was everybody else.
Technically,
Yeah, and to my understanding,
I'm pretty sure
not
technically
exactly-
covers the dead part.
I'm pretty sure I'm standing around a bunch of people who are technically dead, so you're gonna have to kind of narrow that one down for me.
By definition, we were in the Wraithlands.
Spirit world?
Spirit.
Oh, okay.
I was wearing something like a skin suit, but it was
it was
badly damaged, and
creeped me the fuck
an
out.
ashtray was literally in his chest, like the Iron Man movies or something.
And there was
exactly like that.
an Egyptian wolf looking
Oh no.
skin
Yes,
suit.
sort of one, you get.
Gave me flashbacks. It was terrible.
And then some woman
Never
slapped the piss out of Mordecai.
And yeah, some
The lady in bed at the Hotel Vancouver was present and made sure that the deal that Mordecai made didn't screw us how it would have.
And
But-
then we got back to where we were going. We got through a door. We ended up back in the office. We picked up the key and we came home, and here we are.
there was
And
an
so-
alligator.
Jude sort of is like squaring up at this point, and she's sort of like leaning her shoulders back, and she looks at everyone except Jaw. Man, I thought I had a big mouth, but here we are, I guess. Now again, Mr. Johnson, what do you want?
Well, for starters, I kind of wanted to hear that story, and it's awesome
Right.
that you ended up in the Wraithlands. Like, I thought your kind
it was
really couldn't do that
awesome.
kind of thing.
It
Yeah, I
wasn't
love
fun.
being in a place with no food. That's really good for us. Mm-hmm.
To be honest, it's kind of a pain in the ass whenever we end up there too.
Can we
It
just
doesn't
get
seem like it's
down
good
to
for anyone but
business?
those. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, that's a thing.
I like this guy.
Why are you here? Why couldn't you just send her by herself?
Pretty.
Because I wanted to make sure that she wasn't tracked from my location.
And who would be tracking her?
That tracks.
Probably Pentax. It's a whole corporate espionage thing. They keep an eye on me, I keep an eye on them.
Oh, so boring. What do you want?
Here, wait.
Wait for...
No. Sorry. Carry on. I'll ask questions later.
So yes, what can we do for your Senor Johnson?
I'm actually kind of fascinated by this key now.
It's
okay.
nothing you need to concern yourself with. Absolutely nothing you need to concern yourself with. It's simply a little technological thing. Just don't worry.
You'd be amazed how easy life can be when you mind your own business.
Yeah, can Margaret attempt cloud memory on him to just,
God.
She can
completely wipe, the beginning of this from his memory? Because, cloud memory won't cover it. I'm not saying she doesn't have it, but it's a more thorough version than cloud memory.
It is. I mean, she can try.
Okie dokie. So,
Can we tag team?
I'm afraid.
There's
The
no
whole cloud.
rolling with advantage.
I would like to assist.
Yeah, me too.
Do we
I
know
mean-
when they're using this?
I
Like
wanna
for the
use
rest
it.
of us, can we tell?
You'd probably be able to tell. Like, you've seen it enough times.
Then Ja steps backwards and puts the sword at the ready, just in case this goes ass up.
I got this. I forgot to grab my core book, so can you remind me what the roll is for this on my end, please?
Yeah, give me one sec. That would be dominate. Cool, it opened right to that spot. Cloud memory. Charisma plus dominate. versus...
Forgetful Mind.
Oh, Forgetful Mind. That would be 1 rouse check and manipulation plus dominate.
Okay. So the rouse passes, manipulation, dominate. Wonderful. You know what? It's a Garu. I'm gonna risk rousing for manipulation. Oh, and it passes. Shaky ASMR. One fell on my lap. Wait. That is 7 successes.
What are you saying when you're clouding his memory?
Cloud memory, if I remember from the book, it's like depending on how many successes they got, you can rewrite their memory, and then a crit brings bonus stuff, but she didn't get a crit. But she's going to rewrite the bit about the key, the obsidian piece. That's what she's going to focus on. But if there was anything in that conversation that would have led up to it that kind of made him like later think, wait, what the fuck? She would kind of work on that in his mind as well.
Okay. And what would you be saying?
She would say, remind me, because it's been a little while. What's the exact name of the key?
The
Invisible Skull.
The Invisible Skull.
So she would say, and we'll say, because she's Zamisi, those eyes that I described earlier, the serpentine eyes that close this way, they come up, and as she's speaking the command, they're there and sometimes blinking, like sort of like a slow metronome sort of thing.
Right.
And she says, the things relating to the keystone that is obsidian, you have absolutely no recollection of. If someone brings it up to you, you think it nothing but an old wise tale. It is none of your concern. You will leave it alone.
He kind of nods
And
at
her
that.
eyes go back to normal for this face.
Yeah, he kind of nods at that, and he looks at you, and he's like, that's a nice trick.
Cloud memory then.
I got 8 successes on that one.
Let's try again.
Man,
let's
so
cloud
close.
memory. Let's cloud memory.
You can try.
I would like to just sense the unseen right now to see like if there's any additional information I can glean. Like if there's anything weird going on with Johnson himself. So I'll
There's
just
a lot
roll
of
some
weird going
aspects.
on with him.
Well, I know. That's why I'm trying to get some insight here.
Since the unseen will be wits plus aspects, or resolve plus aspects, whichever one is higher.
I'm going to do wits.
The dominate would be
I'm going to rouse my charisma.
probably a good idea.
I just got 1.
I failed.
Abigail!
Shut up, Winston. Unless you know anything about Garu, you should just shut up right now.
We happen to have a squad of Geru during the Great War.
What?
You didn't know about them?
Tell me.
They were fantastic soldiers. They fought something called the Get of Fenris. I don't know what that is. It's weird.
Abigail makes a mental note of this. Get a Fenris. They fought something. Okay, yeah, etc., etc. And she's just like, stop, Winston, stop. You can't help me right now. Just stop.
See, I was going to say, I'm mad at myself for not spinning a willpower, but this makes it worth it.
This totally makes it worth it. And let's find out what Abigail's role is while everybody's trying to mentally mess with your guest.
I'm going to spend a willpower.
I would say that I would do the same, but...
Oh, screw you.
That I don't like the sound of that at all. Thank you.
But But let's just say I don't really have that many dice to re-roll on my roll.
8 successes.
What are you clouding?
I'm clouding the last 10 minutes.
Okay.
Because I'm assuming it's been at least 10 minutes since he came through or it's been probably less than 10 minutes since he came through the phone.
It's been a little over 10 minutes since he came through the phone.
At what point would the 10 minutes have started?
It would have wiped out like the talking about the key, really, but he just would have like.
So he'll basically remember Mordecai giving a really big hug to Mercy, and then
then like a little bit after that would be.
But nothing about the key or anything like that.
No.
Okay, cool, awesome.
He remembers Mordecai being a big marshmallow.
So, wow, that's weird. You guys switched positions a little bit on me. Huh? All right.
I'm always moving. Always moving.
We like to move around, keep people on their toes.
Right. So where is it you ended up again?
So.
That's not. No, Mr. Duran.
In a nutshell.
Mr. Duran. Be careful of your words.
Man,
Senora Abigail, I have been careful of my words while everybody else has been going on like chittering chipmunks.
Understood. Everybody else, if you value your kindred life, because I'm sure Mr. Jaw will enforce this, I would suggest that you not say things that we shouldn't be saying to somebody who is a Garu.
You know, I'm right here.
And we apologize.
Most of us care.
Yeah, I really don't care.
We apologize for that, Senor. It was a very strange little things happened. Suddenly we're somewhere else. We had to do some trudging and walking. There was some strangeness going on, but we found our way back, weirdly, to the same place that we had left. We believe we were somewhere in that other dimension that you folks sometimes meander, and some of my family occasionally wanders, just, in different places. We all shop different departments. You more for the hunting, us more for the clothing. But it was an interesting disappearance, if you wish. It was a learning journey.
So where did you end up?
Kind of in the sewers, but in the spirit side of the sewers. So it was a lot of...
Did you see any spiders while you were over
green ooze? No, we did not see spiders, fortunately.
There's an alligator.
We saw an alligator. We got away from that just before we got back.
Right. So
Graham was like John Wayne.
You didn't see any
Pilgrim
webs of any kind?
No, there was no webs that we could see.
Oh, that would have been worse.
Yeah, so I'm thinking you didn't at all really end up where it is me and my kind usually end up.
No, but someplace next door to that, let's say.
Next door.
Webs would have ruined the suit that I was wearing. The gunge I got on it to begin with. It's cashmere, and they insisted I go into the sewers. But
we all had to go.
How?
There are layers like a sandwich, as I have been taught. You've probably been taught something different.
There are different layers.
Yes, we ended up in another layer. That's all. You're in the cheese, we're in the ham.
And listen, we're really busy, so can you just tell us okay, we told you what happened, so what do you need now? Because you got stuff to do. You seem like a really important guy, so I feel like we all got stuff to do.
Are you lying to this man?
To go with the deli analogy.
No, I'm not lying. We have stuff to do. How is that a lie?
No. The part about being important.
Oh, I mean, I don't know.
Senor Johnson, what can we help you with?
Yeah, so I kind of tracked you guys down. It wasn't the hardest thing in the world to do. There's not exactly a large amount of places that have limos parked out front, especially in this city.
That's a lie.
It's really
Yeah,
not.
town.
In Gastown, this late at night, when people are moving in and out of it,
Fair, I guess.
No.
so I wanted to propose kind of a deal.
Ah, excellent. And here we go. What is your proposals?
Well, you seemed fairly useful against those Black Spiral dancers.
What is a wait, the big furry thing that our associate Ya took the head, and now we have a name for it. That is wonderful. Okay, I don't know that I would say we are fantastic against it. Ja, and several of the others are amazing. I am able to stand back and provide commentary on its clothing, perhaps. But yes, we can do something.
That's kind of my point. The something that you're suggesting, I'm proposing kind of a, not necessarily alliance of sorts, more of a free trade of mutual benefit.
Continue.
Kind of a, I'll try to watch your backs and have certain members of my pack do the same, and you can watch my back.
Who's coming after you?
And might we ask what it is your pack calls themselves?
We are the Web Traversers. It's not the greatest name. Let's be honest, a Bonar came up with it.
Wait a minute. Does this have to do with Malkavians?
No.
Oh, I remember
Say
like the
boner?
cobweb.
Y'all even know what a moonchild is?
Probably
A
not.
hippie?
You're right.
Probably. I don't know what you're
Nah, it's
referring
Margaret.
to.
Yeah, don't even worry about it.
Okay, so we watch your back and you watch ours. What are we watching your back for?
Well, you were up in Pentax. Let's be honest.
Yes.
They tend to not like people going into their offices. You're probably being tracked by them right now. If I could find you, chances are they can.
Okay, and?
So if they inevitably come after you, you're probably going to need help.
Okay. And so we will get your phone number to call you for help?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Excellent. And in exchange, you would have our number, as is obvious, to call us for help when you need help.
Something along those lines. I was thinking something probably a little faster, though.
Ah, you have some help in mind now.
Not necessarily help right now. More faster than picking up the phone and calling people. Really, that's so 1900s.
Yenny.
Yeah, we just text now.
If you intend to poop yourself through a phone again, I will cut you in half.
But I don't know if you can hear that, but Joe's in the other room and she's laughing her ass off. I can actually kind of hear it, even though I have noise canceling headphones on.
I just fixed my makeup. No, I'm crying again.
I've never heard it referred to as pooping before.
It's a term.
It
Yes, but
certainly is.
to steer the conversation back in the direction that it needs to be going, I'm not unfamiliar with Pentax. I'm sure that you're familiar with their enemy Agamemnon has put their headquarters across from their own within Vancouver.
Yeah,
Hey.
cause I own Agamemnon
That's them.
Industries.
Oh, so that covers my next question. I was wanting more information on them, but now I got so much more respect for them. And sir, might I just tell you, it is so perfect that you put your headquarters right across from them. Just absolute perfection. I could not have
Yeah, it's a real capitalist power move. And Jude is gonna wherever, I'm not really sure like where I'm standing in terms of the group, but I'm gonna go over to Duran and I'm just gonna like set my head on his shoulder and like pet the tweed. It's okay. We'll get through this.
Yini. So is there anything from which you need us currently, or is this just the discussion of a mutual defense pact, so to speak?
It's a discussion. There's nothing yet. I can be kind of an early warning system because I'm fairly sure you're not checking to see if Pentex is coming after you right now.
I mean, we've been pretty occupied up until this point. So
Yeah, I heard.
It has
Upside-
been what, 1 day. So yes, we're not checking yet.
The upside down or whatever. Yeah, so I heard.
Yes.
So I'm going to leave my card. He's going to hand it, kind of flick his hand, and a card is basically going to appear. He's going to hand it to Duran.
Grazie.
I'm going to leave my card with you. Text me if you see anything suspicious, anything kind of Pentex related.
Mordecai, could I have one of your cards, please? And I will take Mordecai's card and hand it back to Senor Johnson. And I do not carry a cell phone for very obvious reasons. I am not always the easiest to get in touch with, but Senor Strickland is very easy to get in touch with and get in touch with all of us. So if you should have need, contact Mordecai. Should we have need, and I'm going to hand the card to Abigail. Abigail can get in touch with you so smoothly and easily.
Silky, smooth action.
Silky, smooth, and easily.
That's a loaded term. And he kind of, he doesn't go up to Ja necessarily, but he moves slightly in Ja's direction, partially to see what Ja would do. The other part to kind of nod and good work.
I'm sure you still smell the blood of those similar to you on me.
Let's be honest, they're kind of extended cousins, I guess you would say. That
twice removed.
That branch of the family tree we generally try not to talk too much about.
Yeah, I tend to chop them down.
As long as
Those
you're not
branches need to be pruned.
Chop them down, suck them down, break the bones.
I'm
take
not
the arrow.
All right, Margaret.
I'm not arguing necessarily. That's weird. I'm not arguing necessarily that it needs to
That's
be
my sister.
pruned. But so long as you're not pruning me and mine, we're golden.
So far as I've seen, you have posed us no problems. That one, without a doubt, was a problem to us. Don't be a problem to us, and I won't turn you into a trophy for me and my coterie.
Fair enough.
I agree with Miss Strickland.
Fair enough. On that note, I'm going to probably leave.
Shoe dog.
It was a wonderful seeing you. Ciao.
Yeah, I'm gonna get
Have a
a
good
willpower roll on that one. I mean, if it was a bone gnawer, it'd be like, yeah, sure, no problem, fine, whatever. I'm a dog, it's okay. But this is not a bone gnawer.
I have a theory, but I'm not gonna voice it.
He kind of like, you see him kind of visibly tense a little bit at Ja's comment, but then he like kind of steadies himself and he's like, you've got chutzpah. You got it's a ballsy move. And he walks over and he picks up the cell phone, he flips it back over, and then he kind of disappears into it. It kind of looks like he's kind of digitizing, like he turns into kind of like little squares and kind of melts into the phone.
Okay. Wait till he's completely gone and then go. Unos, dos, tres. Madre de Dios! Are you trying to get us killed? Mother of sweet God! He comes in here, one of him. He is obviously not afraid. He is not the thing you killed in Pentex. And no, oh, hey, if you're not smart, we'll kill you. Oh, we'll suck you dry. Sons of Master Toy, no!
Okay, you want us to just roll over
I'm with
then?
him.
No!
And just not take
no,
and just
you
let
don't-
everybody
No
walk
one
all
like
over
that
us.
comes
You
into
don't
my
roll
style.
over. You stand firm and you say, I am your equal. You don't. Ja, I will make you a wonderful jacket that hides those chips on your shoulders. They are big chips. You do
As far
not
as I know.
threaten.
I think.
Sorry, I don't like to comply all the time. I've done a lot of complying since I came to the city.
It's
And
not about complying. We can stand independently and be a force. The six of us can be an extremely effective, powerful group without telling everyone
obviously,
we meet we're
otherwise
going
he
to
wouldn't
kill
be
them.
coming to us with the deal, would he? If
Yes.
he didn't think we could do something for him.
And the way I
So
see it, someone comes into my establishment, what I see as an extension of my own haven, and tries to bolster it as they do while trying to pretend that they ain't bolstering, they gonna get it back and they ain't gonna get that wool they've been trying to pull
That-
over their ass.
Senora Strickland, that was not bolstering. That was a slap in the face threat. That was not, I am tough. That was, I am so scared, I will talk about drinking you down.
you know, some of us don't really operate on the shady, backhanded subterfuge
I
of
understand
kindred
that.
society.
Many
Sometimes
of us-
we like greater shows of force. Like
Many
not
of us-
everything has to be taking place in DMs and with notes slid under the table. Like that's not how I operate. I think you can deduce that
I
from the time we
understand
have
that.
spent together.
Many of us
So-
are not subtle. I understand that. However, when somebody
Man,
comes
you don't
to
know me.
and you don't know me, so hey, there we are, Senor.
So then don't tell me what to do. How about that?
It's an
And
episode of
please.
Maury.
Please
And-
stop.
And there we are.
Monsieur Duran.
Back in the first thing I said is, as a group, we have a problem with leadership because all of us are so full of ourselves.
Mr. Duran.
Mr. Duran, please calm down. I understand that you are upset that we have once again not come together as a coterie. I understand that this is upsetting that we have shown, shall we say, our backsides to a
No,
Garou.
No.
However, we do need to understand, Mr. Duran, and I understand that this is not how you wanted this to go. We need allies, but we also must be very careful of who we tell things to.
si, senora.
Because honestly, it's not that we want to operate in the shadows, Jude, but we need to make sure because this city is pretty fucked up. There are things going on here that we don't know about, and these kinds of informations about Wraithlands and Tremere Chantries and things like that. The fact that we were even entrusted with this information by Cassius is pretty, well, it's pretty stellar. We need to keep that to ourselves because there's more going on here than we know about, and until we do know everything that there is to know, we must hold our cards close to our chests.
Si, Senora, and if I may for the rest of you, to put it calmly and simply, I was standing closest to him while it appeared to me several of you were trying to get him to attack us. That tells me none of you have my back. I will not work in a coterie where no one has my back.
Mr. Duran, please. The pooping themselves through the phone, that was legitimately how I felt about it.
That's fine.
Straight and honestly. There was no threat to the dog until he came within the range of me being able to smell him.
I believe you had mentioned killing him while he was still standing by the phone with me between him and you.
That was
and an outright statement
simply
that you could kill him. A simple
statement
that tells me that he would go
establishing
through me to get to you. You do not have my back.
I am very fast.
I don't care how fast you are. From where I'm standing, he grabs me by the face, peels it off, leaps over me, and then you can be as fast as you want. You do not have my back.
Okay. This is what everybody, this is what they want. They want us to fight between each other. If we didn't have your back, do you think we would have made it out of the Wraithlands, all of us together, relatively unharmed, just really hungry? So
there are moments we have each other's backs. The last 15
we're just
minutes,
getting started. You think it's gonna be a smooth transition? Like, it takes time. Like, I understand, I get it. You are upset because you felt like you were in danger and all of us were like feeding into his potential wrath. Like, I get that, okay? And I am also like upset that you felt that we didn't have your back. Like, I know I'm coming off real hot, but you have to understand, I spent my entire life getting yelled at by men, okay? And so when you start yelling,
that
my
we have in
hackles are
common.
gonna come up.
My family, I've spent my life getting yelled at by men too.
So we're more alike than different, aren't we, Duran? Okay? And like I said, this is what they want. They want us to be broken and fractured and not working together. Anyway, so, the man.
Mr. Duran, the next time I make a threat to kill someone, I will make sure that I have their blade at their throat at the time of the threat.
There is an old saying where I come from, which is World War II and such: do not draw a gun unless you're going to pull the trigger. I would prefer, and this is me, you have your own way of doing things, that you make the threat to kill him after your blade has severed his head.
In that same vein, my good son.
That ruins opportunities, sir. And I would think you, of all people, would know not to ruin opportunities. There are many who you can threaten to get a point across and get things done. That is a commonality that I know that my family and your family can agree on.
Perhaps we are just disagree on the methods.
Exactly.
Mr. Duran,
I'll put it this way.
Oh, sorry.
Should you find yourself in danger, find me and I will eliminate it for you.
Grazie. I will remember that.
So, Duran, as I had said at the beginning of this,
and Josh stabs the phone, by the way.
You are an angry young man, aren't you?
Abigail takes the phone, takes out the SIM card, and do you want me to roll to just like
to break a SIM card in half?
Well,
I think you can do it.
No.
I have faith in you.
Actually, you know what?
Or are you taking out like components
No, you
of
stabbed
the phone?
You stabbed the phone. I'm actually, you know what? I'm going to take the SIM card out. I'm going to crush the SIM card under my foot, but I'm going to put the phone in my bag.
Fair
I'll
enough.
do something with it later. Continue. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Margaret, you were saying something?
But once all the exchange is said and done, Margaret will look at Duran, and after the first few words of what she says, she'll look at everyone else and she'll just be like, as I told you, first thing this evening, I have your back. And at this point, she will look at everyone else. I may be young, I may be quite removed of what my clan once was in their glory, but I was taught well. The methods that we take and that I execute that you have borne witness to since these last, 2 weeks? They may be crass, but there is a method. As Draw said, threats may be given, but they do not hold seriousness until the weapon actually comes forth. And Duran, given as to what my father and Mordecai's did in life, as well as many of our family, I certainly understand where you're coming from, but I do agree. We need to understand each other as not just clans, but as individuals. We need to attempt to not throw ourselves into the bullshit and actually learn about each other without having to learn while shit hits the fan and making everything worse. Because if everything's getting worse, how can we really learn about each other and actually plan for what might come?
Well said, Senior Strickland. My apologies to all of you if I seemed irate. I will not take back the words. I will gentle them a little bit. We do need to learn how to work better.
Nah, I like the fire. Now that I've seen it, it's really growing on me, so I'm not mad anymore.
Yeah, you have it in you. I like the spice.
Spice must flow.
If there was no confrontation, how can there really be any advancement? How can we really know what a problem? Because as they say in the hospitality industry, a compliment is a gift. Well, not a compliment. Sorry, my words are failing me. It's late at night. A complaint is a gift. There we go.
I think we need to trust each other. I think
you're right.
It's going to take time, though. Like it doesn't happen overnight or over a day. It's something that we need to discuss. And honestly, Cassie's threw together quite a what do they call it? A motley crew, I think they call it.
Yeah, that's a pretty good
I am not
description.
dressing as a pirate, Senor. Well, wait.
Flashbacks to
Maybe.
Vincent. No.
Maybe.
But he threw together quite the bunch. So it's going to take a while for all of us to get used to each other. All we can do is, I guess, make sure that we have each other's backs, as Mr. Duran says, and work on the rest from there. I mean,
trust may take a while.
Exactly.
But for now, I'll make sure no one dies. Final death. That's a high bar for me. It really is. I work alone normally.
That, I think, is the biggest thing, is each of us has experience and time working alone. So working together is going to take a little finessing.
Agreed.
And Mordecai. Okay, so the man, he's everywhere. He's burning down the Amazon. He kidnapped Shamu and put her in a chlorine tank. He's ruined MTV. The man is everywhere.
The man is the pyramid. The man is the pyramid, Mr. Mordecai, that basically...
So this is a Tremere thing?
No. That's just one example of the man. It's the control. It's the... I cannot be entirely sure or at least it used to be, that I could not be entirely sure that what I was doing was of my own free will. That's what we talk about when we talk about the
Exactly.
man.
You mean kind of like how you messed with Johnson's brains and removed his free will?
Yes, and I agree. That's
Doesn't
not
that then
necessarily...
technically make you the man?
We're all monsters, Mr. Mordecai. We're all monsters. We can only try to be better, but we sometimes have to weigh out whether we're doing it for the safety of our own people.
Some of us don't pretend to be something else, though.
That's the part I'm confused by, actually. Johnson found us where we were, not where we were planning, where we were planning to be. We had told literally no one of where our destination was today.
So maybe you shouldn't drive your fancy cars all the time.
I don't think that's it. He came through the phone.
I mean, he specifically mentioned
Yeah.
those.
Still, he said we didn't tell anybody, and like it's not like he's the only limo in town. Like, so yeah, you're right, Mordecai.
He's been watching us for some time because he knew exactly where to go. He knew that this area, Gastown, was devoid of limousines, to the point where he knew my lesser ostentatious vehicle was slightly out of place. He has eyes on us already.
Yeah, and probably not just his eyes. I'm assuming his
The
friends.
The Nos have eyes on us too. We already know that.
His coterie, his pack.
Nos have eyes on
watching.
everyone. It's kind of what they do. It's why I pay them for information. But if you just stay in the hood and mix among the commoners, you don't really run into this kind of problem.
But you're right, Mr. Mordecai. He didn't know where we were going to be. And maybe it behooves us to get better security.
I mean, Mercy didn't even know where we were going to be.
Well,
no, but Mercy had driven you down here before.
Sure.
Mercy's right here. You can ask her.
Did you tell him?
Tell him what?
I guess where we were going to, about this place, where we were going to be.
Where we were likely to be found.
No, but he did ask to see my phone earlier.
Yeah, it tracks you wherever you go. Again, the man.
Could you use a phone to find out where someone's been?
Mr. Mordecai, I'm.
No.
Give me your phone.
No.
Abigail sends in a message to Kevin, a text message.
I don't want to see what's in there.
Can I please get 5 burners?
This is why I do not carry a cell phone, because Abigail has shown just how fantastically she can track you and read your information. And
I haven't deleted my browser history.
And she is not the only one in this world who can do that.
He just needs to clear his cache and cookies.
No.
There's a lot of cookies
that's
in
not
there.
how.
I bet there
I
is.
can get you some phones that will not be trackable. I can get you some phones that are. Let's just say that I have a friend who specializes in this sort of thing, and your hardware will not be trackable anymore. But you must be careful, obviously. Still, it'll at least be better.
Speaking of
so
said
someone
friend,
else is going to be able to look at my browser history.
Speaking of said friend, he puts ? Thumbs up.
I text back, thank you. OU1, obviously. Heart emoji.
OBV ...
Okay. Well, you don't need to delete your browser history. I can just destroy your phone. I mean, I can make your phone not have a history. Literally, it will be wiped and there will be no trace of it ever again. But you do need new phones. Those will be on an
I'll buy a new
overnight.
phone.
The phones will be on an overnight. I will have them for you tomorrow.
Can I
Fine,
have
fine,
an
fine,
LG Xenon? It's like one and you like flip it and there's a keyboard and it's red. Can I have that one? Because it's not a
Mean
smartphone.
that one from the early 2000s?
Bob pulls off his
yeah.
pager like, so I can't use this anymore.
Whoa.
Why not get one of those awesome Razer flip phones?
I still have no. Anyways,
Secret agenty or something.
while we are
Well,
talking
we'll
about
get the phone situation figured out.
while we are talking about phones and arrangements, a situation came up at the Succubus Club, which may or may not have been noticed by others, where Mordecai laid down a credit card in order to pay for drinks and was asked for ID and was stumped. Who here does not have a mask?
I mean, I never really needed one.
I'm already getting you a mask because we can't have that again.
Oh, well, thank you. I mean,
So we will
Sort
arrange-
of escaped Philadelphia on some very dubious sort of situations happening.
I have left a few cities for reasons that I am not willing to discuss as well. I will arrange for masks. It will take a few weeks for each, but I will arrange for masks for each of us. It's a little trickier if you want to be a blank body and not exist at all. I wouldn't recommend that. That sets up its own flares and warning signals.
Wow.
Nah, you just gotta
that
make
would
sure
be-
it says the right dimensions on mine. Because if you say
Right now, I'm
I'm
just
like
pretending to be a dead man.
5'2"
Thanks,
and
Cassius.
125 pounds, that's not gonna work.
No, I will make sure that all the information is appropriate and proper. The advantages to my family is that we have people we can call because we have to wear masks all the time.
All
So,
right, so we
are
got the
you-
phone. We're gonna do
are
the
you
phone.
ugly like Nosferatu?
No. No, but I have
Okay.
no doubt some of the phone calls go through their switchboard.
Okay, so we got the phones. We got to deal with this guy that we're going to have his back or whatever if he gets in danger, but then he's going to help us too. So what's our next move besides get the phones sorted out?
Poke Cassius and have him take this thing off our hands.
Oh yeah, we need to talk to Cassius, yeah.
The hearse.
Storyteller? Anything back from it?
Oh yeah.
Anything
What
back
hurts?
from Cassius? Not yet.
Hmm.
Is this
Oh.
normal for you to not hear back from the man that we're supposed to be working for?
I mean, I don't own the man. And
Okay, fair, but
he's his
Aren't
own
you
person.
guys plan?
I haven't heard from him since we got back from the Wraithlands. I did send him a message asking him to come pick up his. Well, actually, Jude and I sent him I think they call it a drug text. Basically saying that he should come and pick up his stuff. But we have not heard from him.
So I guess we kind of waiting on him kind of and then I guess go from there.
Is there somewhere safe that you can keep that, Mr. Duran?
Oh, yes. Yes, for a very short period of time. Then my family is going to want it if he doesn't pick it up.
Understood. Understood. We'll
That's
Wouldn't that be
probably
bad?
bad.
Yes, I would like to make sure it gets in Cassius's hands before I make my weekly report to home.
Then why don't we put it somewhere where your family can't get it?
Cassius would be where my family would not, because I have made a deal with him.
Don't give it to me. I'll just try to destroy it. I'm honest.
No, I have a safe place for it. It's just the sooner that we can put it in Cassius' hands, the more comfortable I will be. And then we can find out what Cassius would like next, because he said this and other things.
Understood. If
Right.
you could keep it for a little while, Mr. Duran, see this as a show of faith from at least one of the representatives of the Tremere clan, and I'm sure Jude as well, as a sign of faith that you will take care of it until until Cassius can pick it up.
Grazie.
But hopefully not too long. I'll try and track him down.
I could go on a little mission. Mordecai, think we could track down Cassius?
I don't
You
see that
want to
as
go to the
impossible.
Tremere Chantry? That's bold.
I'm a bold man.
I suppose if you want to.
The hearse.
Okay.
We
Sorry,
deserve to see something cool besides the phone coop.
Well, okay. So, all right. Storyteller, can I know that it's in the parking garage and all that, and I have access to it, I assume? Everything's fine? Okay.
You would, yeah.
All right. Well, Mr. Mordecai, it's closer to, say, the Granville Bridge area, near False Creek. So, can you possibly drive us there if we
To the
want to
Mordecai
make
Mobile.
haste?
Do you really call it that?
No.
Good God, thank you.
If you would give me about 20 minutes, I would very much enjoy seeing this car, but that I would prefer to lock up at home rather than taking it with us. I don't think it should wander the streets.
Great.
Good idea.
I will be right back. I have a spot not far. And then it'll be about 20 minutes.
Okay.
Hike home, put it back in its locked space with the other stuff that is locked up that other people don't get to play with, and then hike on back.
Would I be able, like, in this interim 20 minutes of Duran stashing the artifact thing, would I be able to pull Abigail, like, aside for a private conversation?
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
Okay, so yeah, I'd like to take Abigail to, like, where no one else can presumably hear us, and the only heightened senses guy is gone, I think. So yeah, it's big brain time. Okay, so
Yeah, I would literally leave the room so y'all could talk. He wants nothing to do with
Okay.
Tremere
Tremere
So-
shit.
talking shit.
right. So I kind of, and I'm just kind of,
Oh, geez, we're leaving the brother and sister alone? Oh.
they'll be fine. So I kind of am like looking around a little bit, and Jude will sort of go, so are we like on the same frequency here? Like, fuck the pyramid, Karna is cool, like, are we?
Let me tell you a story.
Yeah.
So, I was a ghoul for a little while. Actually, a long little while. I worked for a man who was a Tremere, and when he told me that he was going to allow me to live forever beyond my ghoul years, obviously, I was excited at the idea. What he didn't tell me was that I would be bonded to the pyramid. He never told me that. And to this day, even though Vienna burned down, I will never, ever, ever forgive him, or the pyramid, or the Camarilla, or any of them for putting me in that position. I would have died after the war if I had known that this was going to be the result. I would rather have given up everything than to have been bonded in that kind of way. So yes, I think I'm pretty sure we're on the same wavelength.
Well, and Jude will take Abigail's hands, like both just in her hands. Karna is freeing us from all of this. She's figured it out. She's more amazing and resourceful and intelligent. The things she's seen and done, she's going to bring it down. It's already starting.
That's what I'm hoping. I know that it's coming down. I know that it's coming down. It's just when you know that you're going to live hundreds and hundreds of years at least, it's always too slow. It feels like it's always just too slow. I want to take it down.
I guess it just feels like with me, like everything feels like it's moving at 1,000 miles per hour, but you know, still new to this whole thing, to be honest. And I guess I was lucky. I never had to deal with the pyramid. I was embraced into the fold of Karna. So I'm sorry for what happened to you. This is the kind of stuff that I don't want to see happen to any of us, especially, you know, we're women. It's hard enough for us. And Karna's going to lead us to a place where we'll be taken seriously in this unlife. I truly believe that.
Well, that's my hope too. And I mean, I've been working towards, all the work that I've done has been so that the women who are not undead don't have to go through the same thing I did when it comes to things like technology and engineering and things like that. I don't want this for anyone else. I want a revolution, but I also don't at this point. I've worked so hard that I'm scared to lose my unlife. So caution is unfortunately going to be my downfall.
And I mean, the same opposite could be said about me, right? Being too brazen could be my downfall. I mean, it's already put me in a lot of bad situation. And listen, can I tell you something and you have to promise you can't tell the others?
Well, I'm hoping that you won't tell the others about this because, you know, being a ghoul has its own, having been a ghoul has its own little stigma and all that good stuff. But yes, no, absolutely, you can tell me.
The Second Inquisition knows who I am.
Knows who you are. Okay.
Like, they know my name. They know where I was. I don't think they know that I'm here. I mean, but, you know, we've been talking about tracking and stuff. So I feel like I never really know. But what happened in Milwaukee, like, that was the Second Inquisition. That's why I'm here, because all the girls back home, they're gone now.
Oh, good Lilith, what the hell? They destroyed them all? Oh my god, I mean, I'm so sorry.
There's always followers out there, you know, like there's more of us now these nights than ever, but
oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, Jude. I am so sorry that this happened.
Listen, it's okay. Like, I'm here. I came here to start again and put all that behind them. But you know, I miss them. I miss how it was, where it was just all of us working toward the revolution, like you said. But you know, Duran was talking about like not having his back and stuff. Like, I'm starting to wonder if I'm not just putting you all in danger.
Absolutely not. Don't ever think that way. Can I ask, do they know who you are as Jude, or do they know you by a different name?
I never really had like too many fake, IDs. I was using one at the time, so they might have figured that one out. But obviously, I burned that one when I left. But I don't think they know me as Jude. But you know, they know so much generally. Like after the whole thing with ShrekNet, like so.
Well, that was. See, ShrekNet's not so bad when the right people are using it. I mean, it's. Let's just say that if I were to tell you that ShrekNet might not be completely gone, that you're just not going to tell anybody about that.
No.
All right.
I won't for sure. I mean, I'll let you handle that, that's your wheelhouse. Like, I'm not trying to interfere in that or like, yeah, no, I won't tell anybody.
I will take a look into whether or not anything about you is readily available anywhere. And I will work with my contacts to see if we can make sure that it's erased. I've had to erase my own existence on several occasions because obviously if you stay somewhere too long, it becomes a problem. So we can do the same for you.
Okay.
Let me look into it. Let me take care of it. Storyteller, I'm gonna make a note to kind of just deal with all of this kind of outside of this episode.
Deal with all of this. So back in the main area, what does Margaret, Mordecai, and Ja get up to?
At this point in the night, Margaret would dismiss Amber to let her go to whatever apartment they've set up for her, but let her know that if she's needed for anything, she'll be on call.
With not the cell phone.
No, they have a way of communicating without technology.
Yeah, the cell phone is very much gone at this point. Mordecai and Ja?
Mordecai, I think I noticed that you agreed with Mr. Giovanni there. I understand.
Not so much agree. I agree that we are a ragtag bunch of misfits. I agree
accurate.
that we could do gain some benefit from trust exercises. But I do think that we have each other's backs. I do think he's wrong on that score. We just do so in our own unique ways. My concern was that of his point of there was literally one werewolf individual who willingly walked into a nest of vipers, unafraid and unconcerned for his own safety. So either that makes him a great fool or exceptionally skilled and powerful. I would probably lean towards the latter.
I would lean definitely towards the latter. The puppies can be dangerous.
So my concern, in a roundabout way, in the sense of, my concern was also for Mr. Giovanni. He is not the thickest skinned individual. He's not a combatant. He's not tempered. And so in our zeal to rid ourselves of this lupine threat, we would inadvertently have or do serious damage to our teammates. Abigail, probably not a combatant. despite carrying a machete. Peggy can hold her own. She has neat tricks. But even then, she's not where you and I are. Jude has promise.
I will keep this in mind. Again,
But you and I are warriors.
Tend to work solo. And thus, collateral damage is usually acceptable.
I don't think it is this time.
Indeed.
Especially if to the collateral damage are Cassius's chosen.
Indeed. I am
sorceresses. I'm not sure what they call them now.
Whatever.
They're here for a reason. He picked them for a reason. The rest of us are along for that ride.
Hopefully it was not desperation. I hate desperation.
I've met Cassius before. He's not a desperate man. He plans far too much.
Which is why I don't understand why we would ever have to make a deal with a puppy.
There's more going on, I think, than even we understand. And if he's concerned about his safety to the point where he needs a bunch of leeches to watch his back or watch out for strange happenings that might affect him, that's a bit concerning. But then we just got back from being nearly eaten by a spectral alligator. So
yeah, this is a lot beyond me.
I'm surprised by literally nothing now. I was jaded before. I'm very jaded now.
Good. Jaded people watch their backs. They don't do lots of stupid things.
I've survived this long by not doing stupid things. My sister might think I am a fop.
John looks over at Margaret as he says that.
Margaret from the other side of the room, she just looks at John, kind of shakes her head like, I'll talk to you later, sort of.
But I've been around just as long as she has, and embraced just as long. Just by different sires. For different reasons. And I spent the last 3 decades becoming a warrior.
Same, actually. Banu Hakim don't really skimp when it comes to training.
I would love to learn that sword trick, but another day. My concern, though, is that I have so many lifetimes to live. My concern is that we have to be sure to. What is the vernacular? There's these games on the television now, video games. Tank. There are tanks. Tanks stand in the way. Tanks ensure victory by, I don't know, the vernacular is lost. The point being, someone has to stand between us and the squishy ones. Or no, we have to stand between someone and the squishy ones. I got it. Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
We have to be careful that we don't step on them when we're backing up.
That's the part I'm worried about. But I'm trying. I am.
And I nearly lost someone. I got her back. So it's given me pause.
This is all the more reason why I felt a little bit on edge.
Yeah, I'll be asking her a few questions.
I'm sure you will.
It may or may not involve her phone history. But anyways, Maggie.
She doesn't respond. She's just dusting her crystals, unlocking the most precious ones.
I know what she's thinking, you know. She would have liked to
Seriously.
add that one to her collection as well and worn them like pauldrons.
You don't know her system. You don't know what's up with those ones that are locked.
I was thinking maybe the eyeballs just add more on the spikes on the shoulder thing. That might work. It's a good aesthetic.
And Margaret, mid holding a specimen up, she'll just look at you and be like, you know, I do appreciate someone that enjoys genuine art.
Bell rings, Jaws out the door.
Out.
Nope. Yeah. So is there?
I return.
Duran returns.
It's been long enough.
Is everyone going to be headed towards the limousine then?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, let's hop in this whip, baby.
And he's got a limo driver again.
He does. So on that point, it's pretty much a good spot to call this particular episode to a close.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for everybody for coming in and viewing, hanging out in the chat. So we're going to do a quick round table of everybody, and let's go in reverse order this time. Let's start with Duran.
Hey, thanks for coming out and enjoying the fun and entertainment. And I hope it has been as fun and entertaining for you folk as it has been for me and the rest of us, I hope. My name's Cliff. I played Duran Giovanni this evening. I will be back next week. I love being able to say that I don't know whether I'm going to live or die. I know I'm living. I get to go see the car. You can find me on Instagram under the Vintage Self, which I think it's over that way, or I don't know. It's somewhere. And you can find me in various other places around and about, et cetera, et cetera. And like I said, next week with these amazing people.
Mordecai. Wait, that way. Mordecai.
Yep. Hi, Mike, Mordecai, the Toreador. You can catch my adventures pre and post COVID in cosplay as at Canadian Captain America or CDN Captain America on Twitter. You can catch me on Saturdays here on this channel, where next week I'm going to get a new car. And you can also catch me Tuesdays on this channel, where I am DMing a bunch of would-be heroes. So stay tuned for that. And there will be another game possibly coming down the pipe very soon, June-ish, on Sundays.
Jude.
Hi, my name's Sara. I played Jude the Tremere this evening. You can find me at MC Diabetes on Twitter. By the time this airs, the first episode of London's Bleeding will be fully out, so you will be able to get that on YouTube at that time or on the VOD. I really, really hope you like it, and you can continue to catch episodes of that on Wednesday, 8:30 Central, 9:30 Eastern, where I am the storyteller. I can guarantee you it just gets more interesting as it goes on. I'm so happy to be doing that here as Jude Saturdays. Other stuff in the pipeline, as always. Keep your eye on Martlet Games, the Twitch channel, the Twitter, Martlet Games on all the socials. Yeah, and thank you so much, everybody, for watching again. I'll see you next time.
Margaret.
Yes, hi, I am Astrid, Zamisi extraordinaire of Vancouver. Might give Alexander a little bit of run for his money. All I'm saying is I can't wait for Margaret to meet him.
That would be quite the meeting, yeah.
Yes, it would. Yes, it absolutely would. But other than this, I don't have any streams that I'm a part of. But if you have any vampire things, anything 3.5th edition, I'm also a fervent fan of 3.5. So if you want to do some of that, let me know. I got plans for a couple other streams, but it's just a matter of learning technology and getting the people together. But if you want to support me, check out my Twitter, diviner_Astrid. I have a Etsy, which is called Wares of Astrid. I do tarot readings a la PDF. I don't have a way to do like video readings right now, unfortunately. I also sell crystals. I'm trying to start a degree in geology and stuff because on top of the metaphysics and everything that I know, as I showed with Jude, I actually do have a bit of knowledge when it comes to like actual like geology of stones and when it comes to, you know, man-made versus like nature and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens in the next year or so.
Ja.
Hello, everyone. I am Prince Samir Hamza, also known as Dimples and Dice on the interwebs. You can find me at Twitch on Dimples and Dice. I am also on all of the socials at the same name. Let's see. This week, by the time you see this, you'll be going into my show very later on tonight. So that'll be on Saturday night. So I run a Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle, Philly by Night. Every Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. We are closing in on 30 episodes. Wow. Which is pretty dope. And it's been a great time. It's going to get better as we're going to be adding new cast members to the show real soon. So be on the lookout. I will be off this Sunday. I normally have a Sunday show, but as I'll be getting the vaccine, I'm going to take some time off. But I am doing a new show on my channel Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern time, Into the Bloodlight Wastes. It is going to be DM'd by my wife, The Red Justice. By the time you see this, we will be on our second episode. So do come and check us out, 7 p.m. Eastern time on Dimples and Dice. And then follow my sister channel, Rolling These 20s, for all of the other amazing stuff we do. And then my Twitter will have everything else that's going on.
Give us a hint. What's the kindred population going to be possibly doing in Philly? Give us like a little teaser.
Well, as of the last episode, they had ran into an issue where they had to burn one of their old Coterie members as they had been flesh crafted into a giant blob that had been sent to their home. So they are now looking for a new haven, as their old haven has been destroyed. It was blown up in an explosion. After being told not to go to South Philly, they went back there and the haven got blown up. So they are currently trying to figure out how to negotiate with Dracula and the Prince of the Camarilla.
Yeah, it's like a rock in a hard place situation.
Yeah, Dracula's leading the new Sabbat that's coming up in Philly, and the leader of the Camarilla now is Annabelle, and she just took off a blood hunt on them on the condition that they hunt down a Sabbat that has been on a murderous rampage, breaking the Masquerade.
Standard things, absolutely nothing to worry about. Don't worry about it.
Everything
Lots
sounds
of stuff
like it's
going on over there.
Silky
it's
smooth.
It's beautiful for them. They're having a great time.
Silky smooth. Nothing to
last thing, we ended the episode with the Baron of the of South Philly, Delroy Lindo, locked up in a cell, and some 9-foot man is standing outside of it.
Nothing could possibly go wrong from there. Abigail.
Hi, I am Joanna, and I was playing your Tremere Abigail, and that Gothmobile is mine. I have a love-hate relationship with it, so hands off Mordecai. I have extinguished its vitae, so yes, mine. Anyway, you will find me at Hyrule Gardner on Twitter, and otherwise you will find me here next week, and that's it for me.
And I am Storyteller Steve. I will be participating in that D&D game on Tuesdays, the Would-Be Heroes. I will be running the game you're going to see in just a few minutes, which is my point. Yeah, I'm pointing in the right direction. We're going to raid over to Adjacent, where the Adjacent crew possibly are doing something weird. Oh, crap. I totally forgot. We're kind of off this week. So that was a entire lie. We are not raiding into that. We are possibly airing this a little later, so we might just raid right into rolling these 20s. Yeah, that sounds right. So we'll jump from here over to there, And yeah, we are looking to add another D&D game. We are possibly doing a bit of video gaming eventually on this channel. So yeah, come hang around. We did an awesome job on the D&D game the other day with the fundraising game for.
Oh yeah.
We still have the links open. Actually, we will have the links open until Sunday. So if you missed out on it, you want to donate. If you want to check that out, we have the links in the chat, which are over there. I keep pointing in the wrong direction. It's weird. I can do it like 100 times and I'll still point in the wrong direction.
And thank you to everyone who already donated for this
Yes.
absolute generosity and who spread the word, because oh my gosh, I mean, I was not expecting that, and everybody just contributed to this cause in such a grand way that it's overwhelming. It makes my heart happy.
And thanks once again to all of our special guests for that day. Satine, Jameson, Nora, Jennifer, Prince, Sara, and I'm forgetting somebody. That
Melee.
is Melee. I knew I was forgetting somebody. Fuck, I always forget somebody. It's the way things go. All of the cast on that was great. It was such a great thing to be a first time DM for that. And so we are gonna raid probably over to Rolling D20s right away from here. And we will talk to you all next week. We are only taking over this particular time slot for the moment. We are going to be back to a regular time slot in 2 weeks when Adjacent returns, but we want to help out the Rolling D20s cast because they're awesome. We want to raid directly into them. So yeah,
Appreciate you. We do.
We will see you all next week. Have a good night, and see you over on the Philly chat.
Bye.
Bye,
Thanks, everybody.
everybody.